Welcome to OutTakes. I'm Lori Baker. As part of the OutTakes 2017 Daytime Emmy Awards interview series, here is Gina Tognoni, nominated as Outstanding Lead Actress for a Drama Series for her role of Phyllis Newman on The Young and the Restless. Here she is to tell us all about it. This is your fifth nomination. If you win, it will be your third win. Do you ever
Correct.
get used to this?
No. No, it's always an honor. You know, it's always really the roll of the dice.
You know, how did you hear the news about your nomination?
I was actually on set. I was in my dressing room, and I was getting ready to try to find it on TV because they were announcing it. I was getting ready to do that, and my mother texted me and then called in, and at the same time my husband texted me and said, you know, you got it, you got nominated, and I was just so thrilled, and I called my mom right away and spoke to my husband right away, and you know, they were overjoyed, as was I.
That's wonderful. Which scenes did you submit?
Okay, so in 2018, it really was a fun year of storytelling. There were scenes that I had where I was testifying, really at Victor's trial. Victor was representing himself, and Phyllis came in and wanted to tell her story of how her life had been turned upside down because of this man, and Victor should go to jail, should absolutely be sent away for life for everything that he did to Phyllis. He unleashed hell into Phyllis's life by, which was really a wild storyline. He had Jack replaced by his double, and basically Phyllis was taken advantage of for months and months on end, and he took advantage of her in a way that was not only sexually took advantage of her, emotionally he lied to her. So there were all these layers of betrayal, and she stands she sits on the stand, and she tells her story of how there were many, many nights that she was taken advantage of and what her life was like. And it was very emotional. And she literally flips out. She flips out. She sees white light. And so it was for an actress, it was challenging to keep this all very controlled within, I guess, the performance of it, and yet really let it just fly. And so it was this fine balance of doing that several times. We took about 2 takes on it. We did a dress rehearsal, and we got it on the first take when we brought it to tape. And I was proud of it. It had some really cool levels, and I had a good time just going for it. It was one of those scenes that it was so cathartic. You could just let Victor have it. And she was so bang, you know, because he just absolutely, he being Victor, came into Phyllis's life and just turned it upside down. The second set of scenes were to show the connection between Billy and Phyllis. Phyllis has been married to Jack for a bit now, and their marriage is a bit strained. They're both working very hard. This imposter that came into her life, someone who she thought was Jack, was not Jack at all, really put a wrench into their marriage because there were just different things that were happening with this Marco character than with Jack, things that whether she liked or she didn't like. And so emotionally she was all over the map. And she starts to fall in love with Jack's brother. And Jack's brother is played by Jason Thompson, the character of Billy. And she's taken away by him. And for some reason they have this connection, this soul connection. And it's based on a lot of physical attraction, but also this sort of soul attraction, what he makes her feel like. So she has an affair. And she does not come forth at all. She keeps it a secret. And she has an affair behind Jack's back, under his nose, so to speak, and she reveals the truth to him. He starts to add the pieces together, finally, and he says, have you been with my brother, or have you fallen in love with him? And she says yes, and it's all of the scenes of the reveal. And what was really cool is that it was taking us months and months to get to this point. It was great storytelling, 3-4 months, and what I submitted was basically the week, what happened during the reveal, and it was fantastic. The show had built out a lot of our sets. The main set that they built out was the Abbott house, which was just beautiful, where we could have this argument, which really can happen in life, where you're just arguing throughout the house, and it really showed this married couple, that was really struggling, and I loved that. So I submitted that, and that was my reel.
Yeah, well, those are powerful scenes. I especially remember, the Jack Phyllis breakup was just powerful stuff. And it's great that, Peter Bergman is also up, for outstanding lead actor.
Peter's also nominated. Yes, rightfully so. We all said that, boy, we don't know if it gets any better than this. And we were, at that time when we were telling that story, we were all just working so well together, as we do, but we're all very tight in that way, where every scene was just loaded with so much emotion, and there were so many words and so much dialogue, and we really enjoyed ourselves through that process.
So I take it you are planning to attend the ceremony?
Of course I am. Yes, of course I am.
How much work does it How much work does it take to figure out what you're going to wear to an event like that?
That's exactly. Once you start to come down off this really great cloud, you realize, man, I got to get a dress and all that. So I'm actually just starting that now, and I think I may today go somewhere, drive to a store that I know. So. Yeah, and I always say this. I say, I put it into prayer. I said, what will be mine is out there, and it'll find me, and God willing. And so it's kind of fun to see how it does come together. And I just kind of think of the color, and then, honest to goodness, it really does come to me. So I'm grateful.
Oh, well, I just love the way that you took the role of Phyllis and just made it your own right away.
Thank you.
Sure. What do you enjoy about playing the character?
Oh, goodness gracious. There's something that I absolutely love about her that I don't necessarily have in my own life. It's really funny that when I become Phyllis, it's like I call her in, and I really just that's the way I kind of express it. I just call her in. I tell her, okay, let's go, and this character has the ability of having so many limitations in life, meaning she's very sensitive, and at the same time she's hard, and she's vulnerable, and then sometimes she's absolutely so powerhouse, nothing can stand in her way. She refuses to lose, and then there are times that she's just so insecure about something, and it's because she's vulnerable. And I love all of these sides of her that, I don't know how I've been blessed to play her, but, I just get it. I understand her. So I love making her human. You ask what I really like. I like making her human because when you read her on the page and you read her description, you think, oh, wow, what an obnoxious woman. Like, who wants to hang out with her? Or she's just too headstrong, or I don't know, and she's not soft enough, and all of this. But what I love is making her human and making others hear her and to listen to her and to see her, to acknowledge her. And I like that. It just exercises something in me that, you don't necessarily in your own life have to look at. But I think she's entertaining. I think she can be very entertaining. And it's amazing what the writers can do day in and day out. They have a very difficult job. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I love the character of Phyllis because, like you said, she can be very obnoxious, very aggressive, very in your face, and yet, at least for me as a viewer, I always sympathize with her. I mean, even when she's having the affair with Billy and cheating on Jack, it's like I still feel for her.
I know.
You're
like, maybe you should be with Billy. You know what I mean? So it's bringing that humanness, for lack of a better word, to a character every day, Monday through Friday, so that people can, relate in some way to her. And so there's my job. That's my challenge. And it keeps me busy. That's for sure.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite storyline of Phyllis that you've played so far? Would it be one of the scenes you submitted?
I like The Affair. I do like The Affair. It was so difficult to play. I'm a happily married woman. So it's, and It's a hard subject. My gosh, harder than I thought, because it really brings up such icky feelings. You know, I mean, such judgmental feelings, but yet you understand how this can happen to people, and you understand, the art of the relationship is quite that. I mean, it's a living thing, and you must pay attention to it. There is no, I'm getting married, and I'm just going to hang my hat, and that's the way, this is a sure thing. Every day it's alive, and you have to hear each other's needs, and so that was an interesting story to tell, and it's one that people can relate to immediately. They just can relate to it, and so that was fun. That was fun, and not always easy.
For someone who wants to be an actor or an actress, what advice would you give them?
Oh my goodness, I would say this: you have to love it. You have to love it, and maybe it's not overnight, maybe it's over a period of time, but acting is an expression. It's not an impression. It's the art of telling a story, and your instrument is going to get better and better and better each year, so start practicing now. And whether it is a scene study, whether it is a class that you learn about scenes and what makes up a scene, and why what makes sort of the crescendo, and what is the story, learning those things and then getting in there and doing it. Just get moving, and it will open up. If it is your passion, it will be your destiny, and it will come to you. But you do have to put one foot in front of the other and keep going. Others do not define you. You define you. And there will be days that you get the job or you don't get the job, or you get the agent and you don't get. Whatever it may be, you keep going. And those are the things that you bring to your roles 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line, that will be a part of your bag, so to speak, of tools to tell your story, that you are ultimately a storyteller. And whether you have fame, if it comes your way, that's a bonus. But just get good at telling the story. And that's what I would say.
So good luck and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time and raising up Daytime and raising up what we do. It really means a lot to us as well.
The Daytime Emmy ceremony will take place on April 30th at the Pasadena Civic Auditorium in Los Angeles. Coming up next in this Daytime Emmy Nomination series will be an interview with Chad Duell from General Hospital. And if you missed them, catch my previous interviews with Vincent Irizarry and Kate Manzi from Days of Our Lives, Stacy Hyjuk from The Young and the Restless, and Taquan Richmond from General Hospital. All of these interviews can be found on my website, OutTakesInterviews.com. Keep up with all future shows on my social media. I'm on Twitter as Laurie's Outtakes, on Facebook as Outtakes Interviews, and I just recently started posting on Instagram as Outtakes Interviews as well. So see you there.